Okay, welcome everybody. We're now going to do our second featured reader. And this time we have Gary Hotham. Gary has been busy working the art and craft of English language haiku for over 55 years now. His work has appeared in various magazines, journals, anthologies, chapbooks, and books since then. He spent his youth in northern Maine, but now is a longtime resident of Maryland. He has also lived for various lengths of time with his wife and daughter in Japan, Germany, and England. He currently serves as the first vice president of the Haiku Society of America and is one of the selectors for the Red Moon Press yearly haiku anthologies. He was recently named the honorary curator for the 2022-2023 of the American Haiku Archives at the California State University in Sacramento. And welcome, Gary.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me to read. And what am I going to do now is do a share screen so that you can see the haiku as I read them. Can you see it? Okay, here it is for you West Coasties who only see a sunset over the ocean. It is the sunrise on the East Coast from Nags Head in North Carolina. Notice the vim and vigor of the sun. The East Coast sun is not so tired and worn out as by the time it sets in your ocean on the West Coast. Maybe it is enjoying a well-deserved bubble bath as it sinks into the waters of the Pacific there. All that traveling and shining brilliantly over the US has worn it down a bit by the time it reaches the West Coast. Don't you wish you had the energy of the East Coast sun to greet you in the morning? Okay, no more pulling your West Coast legs. That is the end of my humor for this reading. My haiku are deadly serious, although no one has died from any of them. As far as I know, there are none written on someone's death certificate as a cause of their demise, nor the haiku of any other well-known Japanese or English language haiku writer. Don't we wish that we could all do things that did not bring pain and suffering and death to others and ourselves? Perhaps we can remember what the Apostle Paul wrote to the Philippians. Finally, brothers, quote, finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there's any excellent, if anything worthy of praise, think about these things. But even in the Garden of Eden, which God gave to Adam and Eve to take care of and enjoy, they found a way to pick the wrong fruit. Now for some gentle but deadly serious haiku, none of them meant to be killers. Okay, I'm going to, you're going to see this, the haiku on the screen, so you can see it at the same time I read it. And hopefully you'll enjoy seeing them that way. Light for their world, fireflies. Lifting our shadows, slow falling snow. Explaining decades of wind, dates on the gravestones. All afternoon to change, wildflowers. Taking us into evening, the color of plastic flamingos. Out in the wind, shadows the sun leaves. Touching the snowman's soft spot, lunchtime sun. Making tracks that don't matter, another fresh snow. Empties, glass coloring what's left. Rain in the forecast, wildflowers we only know by color. Morning news, one cloud after the other shaping the mountaintop. Resting in our bucket, the river. Talking over our world, spring rain. Hurrying by, our river out in the rain. No sounds for showing up, fireflies. Morning coffee. Mountains not high enough to bother the sky. Rocks shaping the flow, the river going on without us. A long line in the rain, headlights connecting each car to the hearse. Office windows, the sound snow brings to the future. Never missing, the 2-year-old catches rain with both hands. Hospital entrance, leaves hiding each other from the wind. The line for coffee curves, the same design on each cup. Longer words for the past. The river changes places with my feet. Far into dark, rain on rain. Stepping in, the brook has a sound for my feet. Filling the ICU, air escaping her last breath. On holiday, an ocean runs off our skin. Making the meadow last longer, crickets. Sinking into the valley, the mountain's odor. Covering the tennis court boundaries, autumn leaves. Late night later, her breath missing from the air we breathe. In the racetrack dirt, lost races. Running down the street, our grandson's place in the wind. Foggy, the crow moves the dark spot. Hospice, varying lengths of shadow fill her room. Full moon's dark side, the dog's pull on the leash. Road's edge, the color leaving the snow. Blizzard watch, tighter knots for my boots. Adjusting to us, night takes a while. Lost golf ball, the color the sky never runs out of. Out with the dog, fog hides a sigh. Colder, the color leaves take with them. His life ends, snow softens any sounds the stars make. Rainy night, wallpaper scenes repeating themselves. Out in the dark, stars with stars we can't see. Gettysburg battlefield, the famous sights, green again. A heron stepping onto dry land, the river has further to go. After the funeral, heaps of seedless grapes in bowls. Before sunup, half shells shelter parts of the last wave. Right where the universe goes, fireflies. Afternoon errands, one color disappears in the melting snow. Taken over at noon, wildflowers. Night sky, the dog pulls me back to earth. Guesses on a spring morning, the colors of eternity. On the rocks, the last wave silences the last wave. Above the snow, what's left of our world. through the fog, our pitter patter for each other. Long evening, dark to hide the dark. Spring sounding out the seeds in the packet. Flower to flower, the butterfly doesn't lead us out. Over rocks from the Big Bang, apple blossoms pulled apart by the wind. Over our feet, the future curves with the river. New history about old history, the fog takes nothing with it. Rain in a circus tent, the horses run out of tricks. Others, after the memorial service, the rain stops before the road stops. My brother's news, the phone carries my silence long distance. Following the dog, heavy dew doesn't keep us off the grass. Night air left with the odor, fallen cherry blossoms. Years growing old, the dog curls up. More rain on more rain, the wrong hole for the button. Into the night, the river spreading rain. A long way through the meadow, crickets fading into crickets. Light that's left for light that's left. Taking place between the stars, Earth. Gaps in the cloud cover, the ball kicked out of bounds. Summer grass, the shell left by the gunshot. Ones that did not fall for us, apple blossoms. Rolling down the car window, hearing what the fog hides. After the doctor visit, grown old with the news. Large coffee morning, rain beads where it can't sink. Autumn's edge, no telling one cricket from the other. Last night's rain, our grandson shapes the spring mud. Falling on the other side of our world, cherry blossoms. At the stoplight, light that goes anywhere. Outlasting mom, pairs of shoes on the closet floor. Slow steps, fog doesn't stop, the ocean. Over snow, rain making sounds it can't keep. Falling snow, each breath the same age. Other lives, a coat of paint below ours. Both feet, our grandson running after the rest of life. City lights, snow doesn't fall any faster. In one sound, the river passing by. Humming to our grandson, a tune before any of us were alive. Expanding worlds, our grandson's empty, the toy box. And that's the end. Thank you very much. Just to say, these haiku are a collection in a manuscript of mine that I put together 4 years ago or so, which I have been sending out to non-haiku publishers, whatever. So far it hasn't been taken. So someday it may see the light of a real book. But anyway, until then, thank you.
Nice job, Gary. Beautiful work.
Thank you.